Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Black America Cares Nonprofit Showcase. Today we're talking to Nahdiyah Dennison, and she's the founder of Divine Touch House of Healing. Divine Touch House of Healing is a holistic approach to inner healing from mental illness and substance abuse. She grew up watching her father attempt to break this addiction and decided that it would be a part of her life's service and life's passion to help others going through the same thing. So stay tuned. This is a really enlightening and interesting episode. And if you have anybody in your family dealing with mental illness or drug addiction or substance abuse addiction, then I highly recommend that you check this out. Stay tuned. You're listening to the Nonprofit Showcase, and I'm your host, Kimberly Holmes. I'm really excited about today's episode because it actually coincides with episode 26, which I'll be dropping later on today. It is about a young lady who was addicted to crack cocaine, and she took all of her experiences and turned it into something that is actually helping the community now. So ironically, tonight's guest also deals with that same subject, but in a different way. Her name is Nahdiyah Dennison. She's from Atlanta, Georgia, and she is in the process of building Divine Touch House of Healing. Is it rehab center or rehab house? What exactly is it going to be, Nahdiyah?
It is going to be an inpatient rehab facility.
Okay.
So that's what it is, a treatment center, holistic.
Okay. Well, I'm happy to talk to you, and I want to share a little bit more about what you're doing. Now, I read up a little bit about your story, and I know that your dad was the inspiration behind you starting Divine Touch. So share a little bit more with us about what your vision is and what it is that you plan to do.
Okay. Well, thank you for having me tonight. Really quickly, our mission, we give the necessary treatments through all holistic methods to empower substance abusers and mental health clients. And we lead them to healthy, joyful, and happy lives. And we're working to do this all throughout the Southeast United States right now. I wanted to be in Georgia. I do want to go to Florida and in North Carolina. But right now, we are trying to open up in Atlanta. And my goal is to help those who are ready to just help themselves. And they've gone through rehabs after rehabs after rehabs, and they just are not getting the treatments that they need because the facility is just there for the 30 days. They're just there for the 6 weeks and you're in and out. I plan to be a long-term inpatient care facility. So if they need the whole 90 days or 3 months or a little bit longer, that's what I want the donations for. That's why it's a nonprofit. That is why I need the community's help to help those patients stay in there for as long as they need to be healed internally, because it is an internal healing.
Okay. Again, back with your dad, he was an alcoholic
Yes.
and also a drug abuser. So tell us a little bit about how that impacted your life, having to grow up in that type of environment.
It is a hard life for a child, a wife, and I'm speaking on my mom's behalf, and my sister. Watching my father go in and out of facilities from the time that I can remember. Let's go, to 5 years old. I have stories, countless stories to tell. Some are funny, some are sad, and some are just like, huh, that happened for real, for real.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally. One time he was high and I was sick. I was a sickly child. I had rheumatic fever when I was 8, and so he had to take me to the doctor. And we were out of school this day, and so my sister had to go with us. He had his best friend Lester drive us to the facility. Okay, so both of them were crack, addicts on their own, drug addicts, crack addicts, whatever you want to call it. They were both on drugs, and they took us to the facility. I made it to my doctor's appointment. We made it out. We made it to the gas station on the way home. Lester decides to go ahead and smoke a cigarette and blow up the back of the car. Now that's not a this is so true. I mean, I wish my sister was here. Blow, like, he literally was smoking the cigarette, and he you know how you do the ashes, or you
Mm-hmm.
do the cigarette. It literally lit the back of the car on fire.
Oh my
So it,
God.
yeah, I'm screaming, Daddy, Daddy had felt fallen asleep, so Daddy had passed out because he was high, and my sister was like, Daddy, we were just trying to wake my father up. She pushed me out the car. They grabbed me out the car. I didn't want to leave them, but she was not leaving my father. She was like, get up, get up. And then while that's happening, they go ahead and get some sand and put the fire out. But Daddy's still literally sleeping in the car, and so was my sister.
Oh my
So
gosh.
yeah, right, exactly. So all it took was just a matter of time for the car to blow up, but they did put it out in time, and they got them both out of the car. But it was stories like that and things like that that happened in my life. He was a great father. He really, really was. His flaws was the drugs and the alcohol. And then, of course, this is why it's a mental health facility as well, because they go hand in hand. He had some kind of mental issues going on that brought him down to that point at 16 years old when he first took his first puff of marijuana. And he told me a lot of his stories and a lot of the reasons why he never could get free from drugs.
You describe your facility as holistic. So
Yes,
how is that different from, let's say, a non-holistic
yes.
rehab type service?
Right. So my goal is to rehab everyone through without medicines, without the necessary medicines. I am going to, request that they have gone through a detox treatment center prior to mine. That's why mine is going to be long term, because they will already have been detoxed. So, those medicines that they give them to detox or whatever they went through, the treatments that they went through prior to me, they, basically will have to get all that out of your system as they're going through my treatment center. It's just basically Reiki. If you're not sure what Reiki is, it's just energy healing, a lot of energy healing, a lot of deep, deep, deep treatments with which is trauma treatments, PTSD. A lot of patients, or a lot of clients, I don't like to call them patients, a lot of clients that are drug abusers, they do have a lot of post traumatic stress, and you're not sure where it came from. You're not sure, like what happened. And it takes real therapy to heal. And people don't really understand that. They think, just taking some more drugs to this detox is healing. That's not healing. That's not freeing your soul of what it is that you went through to cause you to be this way.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's really what I'm focused on. I'm focused on the internal healing, deep internal healing, and that's what my father, he did it himself when he was ready to. He did contract HIV. He didn't tell us because he didn't find out until the late '90s. But he discovered that he did get it around 80, like somewhere in the '80s, late '80s, and he did pass in 2013. So he lived with it for a long time. So yeah, go ahead.
Did he do the holistic
Mm-hmm.
process that you're talking about?
Yes, he basically, well, his thing was more on a religious basis. I'm not going to, my facility will not be religious oriented at all. It is, whatever your religious preference is, you are welcome to practice that within the facility, but it's not going to be religious, per se. We will be meditating and focusing on the higher power, which I call God.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes down to him, he went down south to his sister's house, and he was done. He was so over it. One, he was in and out of the hospitals from the drugs that they were giving him for the HIV, which was causing him to basically be sick and back up his system. So he decided to just get clean. He went to his sister's house and he said no more. They prayed, they cried, they prayed, they cried. And he went through a whole detox thing. I think it was like 3 months. And he left New York. He went down to North Carolina, and he was there. And we went to see him. Me and my sister went to see him a couple of times, brought the kids with us. And he looked healthy. He was healthy. He was happy. He was whole. And that was the daddy that we grew up with. Like when he was not high, that was who we loved and who we adored, and who we cherished. So yeah, it's possible to do without medicine, and I don't want to hear anybody say that it's not. It is very much. It's about willpower. It really is
Mm-hmm.
about willpower. You know. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of things that we do, if we change a lot of times, first our mindset,
Hmm.
and then we change our diet,
Yes.
and we change our physical behavior.
Yes.
I think a combination of all of that is what can truly heal us
Hmm.
inside
Hmm.
and out. So
Hmm.
I totally
Yes.
agree.
So it's things like that that made me say no more. I have to do something with this community, because it's still, it's so funny, because it's not funny, but it's sad because it's still out here. It's just not talked about anymore because it's swept under the rug. They're used to it. So many functional addicts these days, that people are working and driving school buses and going home getting high,
Mm.
and no one is caring. My father OD'd twice, and one time, the last time he did, it just scared the mess out of him. They had to pick him up and bring him inside, but it literally, you would have thought he was a bum on the street, because it was on a street corner when he OD'd. It's sad because he, even after that, he was still using. He still used, but just not like that, not so
Mhm.
hard.
Have you ever struggled with addiction at all?
Just eating. As I'm, it's so funny. No,
I'm
yeah,
sorry
you
to laugh.
laugh. I was, that's why I said, and you laugh because it's so funny. But as I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, man, I don't have an addiction. But as a person, I think everyone can form an addictive personality. So I guess throughout my life, I had to sit back and really think: have I ever been addicted to anything? I guess I could say a boyfriend. I guess I could say shopping. I can pick little things out of my life and say, during this point, yeah, I could see I went in hard for that, you know. But is that an addiction? I guess so. In a way, it is, if it's consuming your life more than your job or more than your kids is. Is considered an addiction. So right now, shoot, yeah, I can't stop eating food, man. It's so sad, and I'm trying to lose weight. I am trying to lose weight. It's just hard. It really is hard.
So with that said, and you're not the
Hmm.
only one.
Yeah.
I hate to use COVID as an excuse,
Oh yeah, I
but
know it is
it
though.
I'm gonna tell
Yeah.
you, when I found out that we were gonna be like
Right.
stuck in the
Locked up.
house
Right.
and couldn't go honey, I went to the grocery
Yeah.
store. And it's funny because just before COVID started, I started doing the what is that thing where you eat no carbs?
The keto
The
diet.
key I was doing
Yes.
keto, and I was
Yes.
doing really, really well.
Exactly. Hmm.
Honey, I was
I
like,
know.
okay, keto,
Sorry. Yeah.
I'ma see you later. Cause I'm getting ready to go get these cookies and this
Exactly.
ice cream.
Yes.
And I'm not gonna lie, I probably have gained
Hmm.
like 12 pounds in the
Hmm.
last
Yeah.
two or
It's
three
so easy to
months.
do. It's easy to do.
But
Yeah.
an addiction, I don't know. So let me
You're
ask you
so silly.
this. Describe, no, seriously, describe an addiction. Describe what that is.
A disclaimer: I am not a psychiatrist, therapist, anything clinically certified. Okay. This is just my personal experience and my personal opinion. Okay.
Okay.
I believe an addiction is something that you just cannot stop doing. And it's literally triggered by something in your brain that tells your body to act this certain way in order to go ahead and do whatever it is that you're addicted to. So, and I use sweet, and it's not food. I don't like food. Please, if you put macaroni and cheese in my face over a cake, guess what I'm gonna eat? I'm gonna eat that. I'm gonna eat the whole entire cake. Okay.
You and me both. The whole
No, we're gonna be
thing.
fighting there. And don't forget the ice cream. Now, I have always been this. When I blame my father, I blame my daddy. I do. When I was little, he used to say, "Go to the corner store and get you a Hostess cupcake if you want it. Go get you Hostess, whatever it was. Give me a quarter, and I go to the corner store and go get my little sweets." And this is every day after school. I was in that corner store getting something sweet. So I grew up with that sweet tooth. We call it a sweet tooth, whatever. I grew up with that sweet tooth, but now I just can't stop because it's like I have to have it. And I know I should not because I've had two open heart surgeries. I've had four strokes. I don't need it. My body is telling me stop. No, literally, my
Mm.
body is telling me to stop. And so me using common sense says stop. However, me wanting it says go. So that's what an addiction is, I believe. And do I need some therapy? I just might. Now after talking to you, I just,
You and me both.
I just might because I know common sense is saying stop, Nadia. It's bad for your heart, bad for your health. However, I want it. And so it does have a lot to do with greed. It has a lot to do with selfishness. It has a lot to do with, this is what I want right now. And my satisfaction, my gratification right now, but literally just for right now. And that's an addiction to me. If I can't go to the store and look at that cupcake and look at the cake, a whole cake now. Let's go back to the whole cake because I take the whole cake and bring it home and eat it. So
Mm.
if I can't leave that cake in the store, then that's a problem. So yes, I have a
Mhm.
problem, and I am admitting it now.
Well, at least it's not though a drug. So you've never had a drug
No,
addiction or
I have
alcohol.
never.
Do you
No.
think that that's because of what you experienced with your dad?
Probably so. Yes, probably so. I don't like the taste of alcohol to even drink it like that. It's very rare that you'll see me drinking a lot of alcohol at one time. So I don't do that. I did not try weed. So, that experience has only happened whenever I'm around friends. I will buy some wine and drink it at home. I will do that now, but I don't have to drink the whole bottle of wine at one time. I don't have to have it now. Like, I don't feel the need to have it. So that could have a lot to do with again, it is a mental thing. My mind saying, we're not even going there. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So I don't even go there. I've never gone there even to that point. I've never done that. And I think that has a lot to do with the mindset that I have. So you're right. Yeah, I think you are right about that.
Okay. Run us through a day at Divine House of Healing. Like what do you envision? What if I were a client coming there looking for your service, what can I expect?
Okay, so Divine Touch House of Healing will be a facility. You wake up one day or wake up in the morning after you have been triaged, by the psychiatrist and everything, and you're oriented into the facility. You wake up and we set out your plan. What is your goal for yourself? I'm not going to be the treatment center that's going to give you a set of goals because that's not letting you choose how you're going to heal. But we need to pinpoint what your trigger is, what's brought you to this point. And if you don't know, that's fine. That's why you're here. We'll find out. So I want to say the first week or two will be literally a week of that person getting oriented, finding out what brought them here. What is their trigger? Is it their wife? Is it their children? Was it their father? Was it their mother? Was it a teacher at school that brought them down? Was it bullying? Any little thing? Was it because they were molested? Anything in life, and they don't know because they've covered it up all their life. They've covered it up. My father, I don't know if you've read my story, but my father literally told me, while we were talking one day, and I asked him, I said, what caused you, to be stuck so long? Like you knew you could like break free, but what caused you? He could not forgive his father. It was something as simple as forgiveness. And his father was gone a long time. Okay, gone a long time ago. When I was little, he died. So he could not forgive his father of the abuse that he inflicted on him and his siblings. He could not forgive him. So
Hmm.
all his life, he held on to that hate. He held on to that pain. He held on to that anger. And he just could not let it go. He just could not let it go and didn't want to. But once he decided to go ahead and detox, is when he went with, and that's why he did it religiously because he had to really go internally. He had to ask Jesus to get it out of him, and he wrote his dad a letter. He wrote him a long page letter. He said, "You want me to read it to you? No, I don't want to hear it, Daddy. I don't want to hear it." But it was a long letter, and it was heartfelt, and it was him forgiving his father. So that kind of process is what I know you asked me a direct question. I'm so sorry for going all over the place. But
No,
that
you're
kind of
fine.
that
You're
kind of
fine.
process is what we're going to be doing at Divine Touch House of Healing. Literally getting them to identify, because if they don't know what triggered it, and if we can't get it out of them, what triggered it, then they're going to just go through the program over and over and over again, and that's not my goal. That's not my goal at all. So I need you to be completely raw, completely, open up, like I'm cutting you open with a knife. I need you to be open. And then from there is the healing. So it'll be treatments as far as massage therapy, as far as rope climbing, group activities. It's gonna be so many different things: swimming, aquatic, training, not training, but just therapy. All of this will be some type of therapy for you to heal. Like it's all gonna be healing. And yes, it does sound like a spa, but you ever think about it? Have you ever gone to a spa? I'm telling you, that's a healing in itself. I love the spa because it does allow me to relax. It does allow me to put my mind on something completely different than what that day to day, hustle and bustle is. So it is going to be something similar to a spa. However, you will be working hard to get yourself back into that life that you have to go back into because you do have a life outside of this facility. So
It's
that's the
interesting that you would say that because the first time I went to a spa,
hmm
which was a few years ago, I treated myself to they had this package, this literally all day package.
mm,
And I got there at like 9 o'clock in the morning. And when I went in there, oh my gosh, the whole, it
mm.
was like I was in another world. I
Yeah,
felt like I stepped literally
into a
into
different
another
place.
zone. Yes.
Hmm.
Everything, they had a lot of the what is it? Feng Shui. Am I
Feng
saying it
shui,
right?
feng shui, feng shui. Hmm.
Feng Shui.
Yeah.
And, playing the soft
Hmm.
music, and
Hmm.
they had like lemon water and tea and all that.
Yes,
But let me get to the
yes,
point. So I'm walking in there and everybody's talking like this.
yes, yes,
Hi, welcome, and we want you to
yes,
relax. And.
yes.
So first thing I got was a was it the first thing was the body massage, and
Mm-hmm.
she had the hot stones. And
Mm-hmm.
so she was I remember her rubbing my back with the stones and everything. And I started crying. And
Mm.
so, but it wasn't like that kind of crying. But it
Just
was
tears.
just
Yeah.
tears just would
Mm-hmm.
not stop. I could not stop the tears from flowing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I asked her, I was like, why am I crying? I don't understand. Why am I crying? And she said to me something that I will never ever forget. She
Mm-hmm.
said, the massage is releasing
Mm-hmm.
physical stress,
Mm-hmm.
physical strain.
Yes.
The tears are your emotional
Mm-hmm.
stress and your
Mm-hmm.
emotional strain. And I was like, but I don't
Yes.
have any
You
emotion. She
so
said, oh,
silly.
yes,
You
you
silly.
do.
Yes, you do. Yeah.
She said, you
Yeah.
do. But she said,
Mm-hmm.
you have stuff bottled up in you that you didn't even realize.
Right.
So I can relate to what you're saying.
Yeah.
And
Mm.
I would imagine that there probably, if there is a facility like that,
Mhm.
not a lot of us know of it. I mean,
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
So it's definitely needed. So I'm
Yeah.
really happy for you. So tell us what you need. Where are you right now? How close are you to opening your facility? What exactly do you need and how close are you?
So right now I do have all of my board members. So we are now in the works of looking for a building. We are applying for grants. I cannot get government funding if I don't have a physician on staff, and I can't
Okay.
have a physician on staff if I don't have a building. So those two go hand in hand. So
Got
I
it.
am applying to, stores for funding, in-kind funding, and actual grants or whatever it is that they offer. So that is what I'm looking for. I do have my in-kind letter for someone to donate a building. So if anyone wants to reach out to me for that, they can. www. Actually, just very simple. You can just do Divine Touch House of Healing at outlook.com. I will send you over that letter and we can go from there. But yes, that's it. That's exactly what I'm looking for, a building. And after that, I believe it is going to go so much faster in opening the facility because all it takes is just getting the specifics.
One more question, and then I'm going to have you
Okay.
give us
Mhm.
your contact information. So you
Okay.
mentioned that you're about to interview some. Did you say psychiatrists or
Yeah.
psychologists?
No, no, no. They're psychiatrists. That's what I
So
need on staff, doctors.
you know how you have holistic doctors too. So are they going to be holistic doctors, or are they going to be your traditional? psychiatrists that we.
They will be holistic. Yes, they will
Okay.
not be using medicine. And the only medicines they'll be able to prescribe will be the medicines if they have high blood pressure or if they have something going on prior to,
Okay.
coming into my facility. If they, and the reason why I want them to be regular doctors and not only holistic doctors is because if they do deem necessary some type of mental medicine. So I really do want them to come from another detox facility so I can speak to whomever it is that they were, speaking with and working with at that time. Yeah.
We already know that you are in Atlanta. Give us your contact information, website, and all of that, because I want to follow up with you and,
Okay.
just keep track so that once you do open, we'll be able to get that out there too. The people can
Yes.
come and get this holistic healing that
Oh,
they
of course.
need.
Yes, yes, yes. So the email address, of course, it is at Divine Touch House of Healing, and Divine is Divine. Divine Touch House of Healing at outlook.com. And my website is www.divinetouchhouseofhealing.com. And my phone number, my contact phone number, it is 404-621-7976. If I don't pick up, please leave a voicemail or shoot me a text message. I am always available for a conversation. I'm
Hmm.
always available for anyone who's offering any type of volunteer, any type of. I'm looking for grant writers at this point, grant researchers. There's so many different kind of grants out there that I don't even know like where to look for. Like fund this all type of funding out there that I qualify for, but I don't even know how to search for them. So I am really looking for grant researchers at this point, and so we can get this funding started.
Now,
Yes,
are
yes.
you on social media too? You have Facebook?
Facebook is www.face. Oh, I guess I'm going to say all of that. It's Divine Touch Facility. That's what the Facebook link is. I guess I have to send. I'll forward it to you, but it is Divine Touch Facility.
Okay.
Instagram, it is Divine Touch House of Healing. So that's what it's under. I'll send you all over social media, trying to get the word out.
Okay, definitely. All right, well, Nadia, that will conclude our interview. It was a pleasure talking to you. And I love your vision and can't wait to see everything come into full manifestation because it's really, really needed in our communities. And thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Okay, that concludes our
Thank you.
interview. Thank you. Have a good day.
Okay.